Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. Don't know where Gini's just went to. Gini's just dipped to the best time possible. But we are here for the Liverpool show. I'm joined by Velv, Gini, and Paul. Hopefully, Paul will be here later on, and Gini is back now. So perfect. We have almost a full panel, but we've got plenty to talk about. Let's go through some comments. Mustafa says dusted club. That dusted club that finished fourth round of League Cup, Manchester United best chance of winning something, indeed. Big up to Wolf. I'm having panic attacks now. Well, I hope you're feeling all right. Watch your chat, watch your show, and you'll feel a lot better hearing all of us and interacting, I'm sure. But yes, I am good. I hope you are there as well. Hello. Why did it only show one league title in the Premier League? And who is Trent? Trent is a Liverpool player. He's also Scouse. But as I said, we've got a lot to talk about, so let's get straight into it. We'll start with the Carabao Cup draw to Preston. The Preston manager has said Liverpool are one of the best clubs in the world. They are a formidable test, no matter what team they put out. It's great for the club and for the city. I think it's one that fans can hopefully relish when it comes round. Now, speaking of previous experience of facing Liverpool in a cup game, it is something that a town will really, really get behind and really get excited about. So, Gini, I'll start with you. You've got Preston in the Carabao Cup. You excited for that one?
Yeah, it's a great draw for once. We've actually been drawn the lucky straw out of them all, and it's not City, which is a nice change. So it'll be good to play the same team, play the fringe players that can't get a look in the Prem. We've got a few exciting kids like Cade Gordon, Tyler Morton, Connor Bradley coming through, which gives them another good test as well. So it's a nice draw. They got a good stadium, good team, possibly against Sepp van den Berg, who's our own loan player if Klopp lets him. So yeah, I'm buzzing with that draw, to be fair, and it's a good chance to get a crack at a quarter-final stage at a cup for once.
Yeah, 100%. What about you, Velv? Obviously, Preston in the Carabao Cup fourth round. United only Big Six team not to make it past third round. So, I wonder how United feeling that they only progressed one round before further than Argyle, and that was only because they've got European football this year. We've also got the same amount of Premier League titles over the last 8 to 10 years. So, just wanted to check that out there.
Yeah, it's a good draw against Preston. Finally, we get an easy team. Like usually in previous tournaments, we always get like a Premier League team at best. So yeah, it's finally to get a nice draw for once. Yes, first in Preston, obviously Ben Davies came on there. I'm not sure how the fans will react to Jurgen Klopp's like, why are you not starting Ben Davies, you twat? I think I could just see it coming, but yeah, I feel like it'll be good to see the youngsters play in that match. Yeah. Cade Gordon, I thought he was superb yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, Tuesday. Yeah, I thought Connor Bradley, barring that penalty, he is decent. Tyler Morton, when he came on, was very good. And yeah, it's just excited to see these youngsters play. And we can play them again without worrying about playing starters. Because during this time, we need to think about squad depth. Like we need to play squads in these types of games so we could rest and play in the big games later on.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree with that. Everything time when I am pissed, I watch Fred World Class Free Kicks. Crikey. Liverpool, these names, man. I know. It's actually a city. Liverpool looking scary, says Wolf. Let's box Velv. Whoever makes these draws are a disgrace to society, says Mustafa.
I mean, Mustafa, if you won, you would have got City.
United, they always moan, don't they, right? The referees or draws or VAR. Wankers. And big up Mustafa, absolutely. Next up, I want to talk about Tsimikas. As I said, we've got an awful lot to talk about. So this one, as a lot of this has actually come from a Liverpool Echo. Now, some of it I'd say with a pinch of salt, some of it I don't. This one I actually do believe because, it's actually happened because Tsimikas has now been trusted a lot more by Jurgen Klopp. They wrote pre-season presented Tsimikas valuable Liverpool minutes, and throughout the summer he impressed so much that when Robertson picked up an ankle injury on the eve of a new Premier League campaign, Klopp had the confidence in handing the Greek international his full Premier League debut against Norwich. He grasped this opportunity at Carrow Road with both hands, providing an ever-present threat up the Liverpool left, whilst completely defending in the rare moments he was called upon. Velv, I'll start with you on this one. Tsimikas, finally trusted by Klopp. I think, a lot of people have questioned if Klopp was good enough to rotate. It does take a manager, good manager, the ability to rotate, and Klopp's certainly doing that so far.
Yes, it's fine to see Klopp doing rotations and needed, and we finally have a left back cover that is very, very good. Like when we signed Tsimikas, I was like, it was a good sign, but I was thinking about, because we were linked with Jamal Lewis back then. I was like, oh, should we go for Tsimikas? But he's proved me wrong, and he's done very, very good. It's coming up, and I think that preseason really helped it. I think it's helped majority of signings that came in last season, because last season they didn't have a preseason, they can't get things running, and now with the preseason they helped Tsimikas. He was arguably one of our best players in that preseason. Got given the job, and then it's got skill assists. It's not making me feel like does Robertson even get into this starting lineup, because in Tsimikas by far is on better form than Robertson. It's good that we're debating about this, who's getting the start, because Tsimikas has proven that he's ready.
I think it's brave to even suggest that Jurgen would move away from a Robbo left back. I mean, look, the discussion is certainly there, but I don't see Jurgen doing that. Jurgen is Jurgen, isn't he? But Gini, Tsimikas, he's doing well so far.
He's doing absolutely brilliant. He's exceeding all of our expectations. He's looked like that backup that we need for Trent, in where when Robertson can't play, when he's tired, when he's fatigued, or when he's injured, Tsimikas can come in and do more than half a good job. So it's good to actually have a backup player that we can trust, and there's not a huge drop off in quality. He's doing really well. He's a great Klopp fullback, because attackingly he's unbelievable. Some of the crosses that he puts in are brilliant. Defensively, one-on-one, he could be better, but that'll come with time. Other than that, he's absolutely sound. So Tsimikas is perfect. He's shown to be a great second option for us.
I think we have the best left back duos in the league. If you really think about it, if you look at top sixes, backup fullbacks, they're not that quality. They're not the ones that are going to be pushing in for that thing.
I think if Tellez gets a good run of games, I think Tellez could provide that sort of fight for Luke Shaw at United. But certainly other than that, I can't really. It's why it makes me laugh when United fans talk about having no squad depth. I'm like, you just do, but your manager's just doesn't know how to use it. I think Tellez could probably do a job. I watched him a few times for Porto. He looks, I think it was Porto he was at, but he looks a solid left back when he gets that sort of game time. But no, I would certainly agree. Tsimikas Robbo does certainly it provides Robbo with a bit of competition now, because I don't know how you two thought about this last season, but I do feel, and I know there was injuries and all that crap, but I do feel that Robbo and Trent, their levels dropped considerably from what we were used to seeing from Robbo and Trent. Last season, they were not even half as good as they know they can be. But now a bit of competition, though. A bit of competition, though. Yeah, but a player like Trent shouldn't have to rely on fans, because Trent is good, right? Trent is one of the best right backs. Trent is one of the best right backs in the world. He shouldn't have to rely on the cop giving him that energy, giving him that burst, because he's good enough. He's shown that many other times. And the same with Robbo. Look, they're both in their own right very good right back and left backs. So I don't think they should need that, but maybe top players do need a bit of that sort of push. Maybe Robbo does need Tsimikas to sort of just tap him on the back, going, "I want that now." Please go sit on the bench. I have your spot. Isn't that what the best teams have always had? If you look at the teams that have won leagues, barring Liverpool, which was an anomaly because you didn't really rotate heavily, did you? You just remained really injury free, which
only like in December we started rotating because we had like other competitions. But
but he threw away pretty much every other competition to go and win the Premier League. Which look, sometimes that happens. I think I can't remember if Fergie ever did that, but I'm sure other managers have chucked away other competitions to focus on winning other stuff. But no one can deny that Jurgen has won plenty of stuff. But do you think that Tsimikas can really push Robbo on to do even better than he did a couple of seasons ago? Either one of you.
As you see, I think what was his best season? Really the 18-19/19-20, like where he gets double-digit assists consecutively. I think currently not now because I don't think he'll play more games, but like it depends on Robertson really. If he's not going to be performing the way he did a few seasons ago, where he's been consistent, then yeah, possibly Tsimikas could do that. I wouldn't say like he's going to do it for like years to come, but I feel like probably when Robertson's out of form, he'll probably do that job. Not double-digit assists, but like probably see like 5+, which is decent for like a fullback.
Yeah, I hear that. Sorry, I'm just dealing with some Doncaster trolls right now. But Gini, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think Tsimikas can push Robbo to go back to the Robbo that we saw in one of his best seasons?
Yeah, well, I think they can push each other, to be fair, because I think it goes vice versa in the way that, you know, Robertson's number one, Tsimikas wants to push himself to compete for as much game time as he can this season, which he can do.
Yeah.
So I think it works in both ways. Robertson, where it goes to his best season, I don't think it'll be solely down to that alone. When you talk about assists, you need our strikers to be clinical, in which it could be. Now we have Jota on the end of his crosses, who's a great header of the ball. And then obviously Salah.
Apart from what he did against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, but that wasn't with his head. That's the reason I only mentioned.
How the fuck? Quick question: how the fuck did Jota miss that?
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's just move on. It's like the ball bounce. I think he tried to hit.
Bounce my ass. He's absolutely leathered the ball, and it's going. What do you call that stand? Is that the Anfield Road stand?
Yeah, Anfield Road.
Yeah.
I think he did. I think he didn't want to hurt Guaita. Like, I respect him. Let him.
It appears that he wanted to hurt his own fans instead. Just absolutely smash the ball into the away end. But before we get on to Naby Keita and what his agent has said, I do want to talk briefly about another thing. Now, it is down to safe standing. We have obviously seen a lot of the clubs putting in the railway, sort of the rail style seats and the whole the sort of barriers and all of that to ensure that there can be safe standing. And I think it's also fair to say that every club is probably looking at Liverpool for advice and guidance right now. Ultimately, because of Hillsborough, because of what happened to Liverpool fans, I think a lot of clubs, including my club Argyle, are looking at Liverpool and going, what are they thinking about this? There was, I think, last year, a survey put out to Liverpool fans asking them their thoughts on safe standing. Obviously, we know that the government are likely to change the ruling on safe standing and say that it would now be legal for teams to issue safe standing areas. There was a poll put out, and overwhelmingly, Liverpool fans said that they would be happy. For safe standing to return. Gini, I'll start with you. Obviously, Liverpool have their own, you know, I don't think anyone would blame Liverpool fans for having their different perception and on safe standing. And there certainly has been a long wait for us to get to this day. What is your feelings towards safe standing coming back to football games?
Well, we actually have it. Luckily enough, obviously, I go to the game, so we actually have it in the cot right now. It's not far above me. So look,
Was that put in over the summer?
Yeah.
So it'd have been.
And speaking to the people that sit there, they like it. There's a lot more room. With the seats, you barely get any leg room. To be fair, in the cop, for Liverpool personally, they always stand up. So then you got something to lean on as well if you fancy that.
Yeah.
And the key word in it is safe. So if it's safe as they're saying, it's nothing to compare to obviously what happened in the event that you mentioned, and that was ages ago. That was unfortunately, justice for the 97. It was the police's fault, and something like that should never happen again. And if it's anything close, it has to be scrapped immediately. But it's safe standing. So they've put in
they've made it as safe as they physically can, because
exactly. So
ultimately,
I'll be aboard on it.
Yeah, because ultimately people do want to stand. I mean, I want to stand in Devonport, and if safe standing comes back out, I have a feeling where I know Argyle are putting their safe standing. Block 3 becomes safe standing because we don't sit. You can have stewards asking us politely to sit, and normally they're giving the middle finger. But I do think that with safe standing, and Zach says, what is safe standing? Well, safe standing essentially means that they've put in seats that obviously all seats flap up anyway. They're all sort of like that anyway. You pull them down. They're all basically they're all basically, but they're fucking not cinema chairs. Cinema chairs have cushions. Football stands don't. No. In terms of that, they all sort of sit upright, and you pull it down to sit on it. These ones are railway seats, so I'm guessing they're just more square, bit more able to be tucked in a bit. And they've put barriers, sort of a rail in front of every row of safe standing. That is there to prevent a collapse or anything of that. But Gini also mentioned how things have changed and how it was the police's fault that night, or that day, shall I say. Obviously, we know that for a long period of time, the barriers have been removed from pitch side. You don't have barriers anymore. That's illegal. So having that thing that happened on that night or day, it will never happen, because there is now that ability to come onto the pitch, and in the instances that we need. But Velv, what is your stance on the safe standing, and are you for it? Are you against it? What's your view on it?
No, it's just repeating what Gini said. I think it's a good idea. I feel like it has the word safe in it, so it's obviously gonna prevent anything dangerous happening. Yeah. And it's good for fans to not worry, they can celebrate as much as they want without the fear of something bad happening to them. So I think it's a good idea, and I'm for it.
Yeah, and obviously, do you understand why? And this is to both of you. Do you understand why every club sort of looks at Liverpool for a little bit of guidance, a little bit of what are Liverpool thinking on this? Obviously, with what happened. Do you understand why clubs are looking for Liverpool for maybe that guidance, or just sort of that sort of thumbs up, sort of is it really okay to discuss this because of the effects that we still see today on the families of the 97? And I know that the families of the 97 were personally written to by I think you have a trust in Liverpool. Is it Bill Shankly trust, or also there's a trust at Liverpool that specifically wrote to the families of the 97 to speak to them before this even got really, before Liverpool started asking their fans. They went to the 97 families and were like, we think we're going to do this, we want your thoughts. Do you understand why clubs look to Liverpool for that bit of sort of, maybe not advice, but more guidance of, are you okay with us talking about this, because of the impacts that we've seen so many years on?
I think clubs doing it I think it's just doing like it's what the club wants. If they want to do what's best for the fans and best for like to help the everyone's feels like seeing this as an example of the safe standing, use it for them. For like it will help out football much better, help out the fans, and it will bring more safer environment to like not fear to go to stadiums anymore.
Yeah, no, I certainly hear that. What about you, Gini? Do you understand why other clubs look to Liverpool for that sort of that thumbs up? That it's okay to discuss this.
1,000,000%. Well, there's two reasons. One, we're trialing it right now as we speak because we've already got them, and two, obviously because of the disaster of the 97. So 1,000,000%. I think we're the club that sets the tone. I think if we go with it, you'll see a lot of people follow. If we reject it, I think a lot of people follow it in our footsteps as well. So,
I'd certainly agree. I do think Liverpool are sort of they're the ones that everyone sort of looks to for this, and rightly so. And we've not just seen it at Anfield. There is some at Old Trafford. You've got the Etihad that have also got some standing seats for the cardboard cutouts of fans that they're going to use on Champions League nights. You've also got Spurs that have put it in there. You know that amazing stand that basically is just one tier, a beautiful stand. You've got rail seating in there. Chelsea obviously actually had to stop fans from going to Crystal Palace game because they were putting it in Stamford Bridge. Molineux's got it as well. So we are starting to see more Premier League clubs, and all of them are saying, we're just doing this in the areas that people stand. It has come to light that it's not going to be that. We are expecting a law change in the imminent future for this. So I just wanted to get everyone's opinions on that, obviously. Mustafa says, Velv, fight me, you coward. Love it. Martial is finished. I do agree. Did everyone see what happens when you type in empty seats on Google Maps?
That's why I was laughing that I searched.
Trent is honestly so overrated. How is he the best right back in the world? He can't defend. Well, that's a myth. I've already debunked that myth once before. I'm not doing it anymore. What is safe standing? Just explain that as well. Tellers is finished. Etihad. Yes, the Etihad. We've got to love the Etihad. It's such a formidable set of fan base. It's embarrassing when you'd probably get more fan. I reckon if Argyle were in the Premier League, it's actually genuinely embarrassing that we'd probably have more fans than Man City. Genuinely embarrassing.
It's even worse that the manager's just begging for fans to come to stadiums.
Yeah, like I got a phone call off Pep last night, and he was crying his eyes out. He was like, I need more fans now. I need you to come up there. And I basically put the phone down on it.
Oh, yo, Pep, if you want to pay me to go just attend one City game, then I'm down for it. You have to pay me like 1K, then I'll come there. Just be a standard.
You couldn't even pay me to go watch them. Not on your Nelly. No, it's shocking. Wolf goes, Zach, safe standing is a standing that is safe. I love Wolf. That is one of the best definitions in world football. But let's talk Naby Keita, because as I say, we do have plenty to talk about. Naby Keita. I'll read you out a quote from a few things. So Liverpool midfielder Naby Keita is hesitant to sign a new contract amid concerns over his role in Jurgen Klopp's squad. Sort of in brackets, I would hope Naby understood that he's been injured for quite a long time of his career at Liverpool. According to reports, Keita is contracted until 2023, but won't sign an extension unless he starts featuring more regularly for the Reds. Again, stop being injured, you might. After a game in which Liverpool dropped 2 points to Thomas Tuchel's 10 men, Kebi aimed a frustrated tweet at Klopp, slating him for benching Keita. It reads, it's really hard for me to understand, Klopp. You have to be him to put Naby Keita on the bench right now in his form. Your super coach is solely responsible for this draw against Chelsea. Now, I think the agent might have forgotten that Naby Keita has been injured for quite a long time at Liverpool. And Jurgen has tried almost everything to get this boy into his lineups. But unfortunately, when you're injured, you can't physically play, you dicks. So, Gini, I'll start with you. Are you disappointed that Naby has not told his agent to not post that, firstly? Because we always see people go for Paul Pogba for Mino Raiola talking. So are you disappointed that he hasn't stopped that straight away? And are you disappointed that he's not going to sign, or is that to be expected? I mean, he's been in, and again, the injuries might not be his fault, but he has been unavailable for a long period of time at Liverpool. So he can hardly expect to be a first-team starter or the first name on Jurgen Klopp's team sheet, when, to be frankly honest, his availability is somewhat shocking. Because the thing with Jurgen, and rightly or wrongly, Jurgen likes consistency. That midfield is literally Hendo, Fabinho guaranteed if they're fit. Then you've got one extra spot. Now, he likes consistency. Last season, we saw Gini Wijnaldum in there. He likes that consistency. We've seen it in the back line. He rarely likes to make changes there, apart from on injuries. We've seen it in the front line. Are you disappointed that Naby is acting, maybe not Naby, but his agent is acting like this towards Liverpool?
To be honest, it's annoying, but it doesn't surprise me at all. It's not just with Naby's agent, although Naby's agent is one of those pricks, but football agents right now are just they are so happy to just put something on Twitter so they look the Billy Big Bollocks. That player's agent, and then look so cool.
We've seen it with Mino Raiola for so many years.
It's the worst one for it. And another thing Klopp doesn't like is he doesn't like agents like that. That's the reason why we don't. He tries to stay away from. He's never bought a Raiola player before after him doing negotiation with someone at Dortmund. So he doesn't like agents like that anyway. So that tweet was so strange. The way he addressed Jurgen to your super coach is weird. Would I be angry if Naby doesn't sign the contract? No, not at all, to be honest with you. I love Naby, but the kid's just got injured for kicking grass. Like, how is that possible as a football player? They go on there and they are guaranteed to kick the grass. I don't get what we have to do it. I don't know if we have to get the football pitch on bubble and bounce for Naby, but he just can't stay fit, and I really wish it worked out for him. And I still hope it does. He's a great player when he stays fit. He's amazing, but patience is really running low. And for the agent to direct it at the club is just wrong. And
we'll get into the injury update for this weekend anyway, but Naby's injured. So, just as we talk about Naby snubbing contract, agent being a twat, Naby not being able to get onto the team because he's not simply fit enough, gets a knock on. Apparently it's not serious, but with Naby, it could probably be about 2 months out. I mean, a 2-week injury for Naby is like fucking 3 months for someone like Bruno Fernandes who doesn't get injured. You see what I mean? Like, so instantly, Jurgen Klopp is justified. And I also think Naby needs to sort of understand he's a very good player, mind you. So is Henderson, so is Fabinho, so is Thiago, so is Harvey Elliott, so is Curtis Jones. Liverpool are flooded with talented players, and ultimately, if you're injured all the time, you're going to drop down the pecking order because you're not able to gain that consistency which Jurgen Klopp likes. And again, that's not really down to the agent to decide how Jurgen Klopp likes to manage his team. That's not his job. His job is to manage Naby Keita, for example, and do it well, which he's not doing very well either. Velv, comments on that? Oh, that's a madness. So Velv not there. So we'll move on. Liverpool. We'll move on to this next one. Liverpool are keen to sign Borussia Dortmund midfielder Jude Bellingham, according to Christian Falk. However, the journalist claims Red boss Jurgen Klopp, who managed Dortmund for 7 seasons, has inhibitions about signing players from his former club. The contract with the club Also, a big up to Paul. The
I
contract
am
with the
very
club.
sorry.
It's all right, bro. Not a
I
problem.
am very sorry.
Not a problem. We're just actually going to get into Jude Bellingham. The contract with the club is also relatively good, but it'll be difficult, especially since he still has a longer contract. I think he will end up on the island in terms of in the UK, but unlike Erling Haaland, Dortmund fans can be hopeful that he'll definitely play at least one more season. Gini, I'll go to you first on this one. Jude Bellingham. Now, with Jurgen Klopp not too keen on signing players from his former club Dortmund, it does seem like Jude Bellingham might not be a Liverpool player. Where do you stand on this? Obviously, I'm not going to ask you would you want Jude Bellingham, because that's just a downright stupid question. Of course, everyone wants Jude Bellingham, but do you? What's your feelings on this stance? Jurgen Klopp maybe not too keen on it, or do you think it will be one that when Jurgen Klopp goes, you'll just be like, we'll take Jude Bellingham now?
Yeah, well, that what is it? Inhibitations, is that the word?
Mm-hmm.
That thing must be rubbish, because I don't think Klopp's going to turn down one of the best prospects going right now because he wants to manage Dortmund. Because eventually,
No. I don't think it's that. But who is Jude Bellingham's agent? Has he got a dodgy agent? Is he under Viola?
I bloody hope not. I don't actually know. Oh no, in Bellingham's agent is uncle.
Oh, it might be. Actually, I don't know. That was a genuine question. I just didn't know if he had a dickish agent that Jurgen Klopp was like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah,
it's why you never. It's why when, because I saw a report that Liverpool are looking at Erling Haaland, I was like, with Mino Raiola, go fuck yourselves. Exactly. That's just that is completely. You might as well just rip that up and let me use it as toilet paper. Because to be frankly honest, that is basically what you've written is toilet paper. Because Jurgen Klopp or Liverpool, mind you, not going to go and sit in bed with Mino Raiola. Jesus Christ! Like, never.
I think that was one of the reasons we didn't go for Daniel Marlin in the summer because Mino Raiola is his agent.
Mm-hmm.
Who? Sorry, say that again.
Marlin.
Marlin.
You know the you know the guy that the guy that Dortmund bought over the summer.
Come from PSV. He's a striker, Netherlands. Daniel.
Yeah, what was there much talk about that? I don't really remember that. It probably
sounds
bad. That sounds bad coming from me, like, but I mean,
I did transfer
really
talk. I did transfer talk over the entire summer pretty much, and there was a little bit of talk. It was a little bit. But yeah, Gini, your stance on this. How do you see this going? Do you see Liverpool pulling off Jude Bellingham?
You know what? It's the hope that kills you, but I'm willing for the hope to kill me again here. To be honest, I don't know why. Honestly, it feels like you've just opened up to your girlfriend that you love, even though she's cheated on someone else about 50 times. You're giving your hope, but you know it's going to fail. But yeah, I have a feeling we can get it along the line because, well, we hear it every summer, but there literally has to be something big in for us this season because our players are literally hitting the 30 mark now. You can clearly see.
I think you can play on past 30 though. I don't think 30 is the... Obviously, 30 is the milestone where you do start thinking, oh, yeah, maybe we should look to bring in... Maybe, yeah, we should look to recruit some younger players. But 30 is still your peak, really. I'd say you've got to really start thinking about it, about 32, 33.
Yeah, but an organised club, though, looks at 30 because an organised club identifies...
Oh, definitely, yeah.
An organised club... and I understand that, but...
Paul, you know what I mean by that? It's the massive number that we have that are turning 30 this season. For example, like Salah, Mane, Bobby...
No,
in the 30s.
I agree with you.
You know, at least sound like two players.
Got to think about it.
And Bellingham is literally cut out for Jurgen Klopp and for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool team. The way he presses to watch him, he's amazing. He works so hard. He's talented.
I would love Bellingham. Like I just it's obviously going to be pricey, but I mean, if we're willing to go in for him, I mean, if Klopp wants him, I think we'll get him. I mean,
it's all about organised clubs. It's why I like Liverpool, because they
How
are
old Bellingham?
organised.
Is he about
He's
He's
what?
22, isn't he? Oh no, not 22.
18.
He's 20.
No, he's,
No,
18.
he's 18. Fucking hell, he broke onto the scene
Yeah, he
ridiculous.
broke on the scene when he was like 15, didn't he?
I know,
Yeah,
18 for that.
He's already played for
quality
England.
of Jude Bellingham, like
He's
Yeah.
played for
as well. He's
played for
already played for
England
England
at 17. Played for England at 17.
Just been having a little look there. Just been having a look on an article from the Echo saying that he wouldn't go for under. German publication Bild has made clear that the Bundesliga side would not be prepared to sanction a deal for anything less than 85.4 million. I mean, that'd obviously break our transfer record, but Virgil van Dijk, we were willing to spend 75 million on him, and that's a bargain, I think, now for Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
I mean, Jude Bellingham, he's looking at a proper prospect. I think we should put ourselves out there and kind of mark our territory, if you like, within Europe and go for him. I think he's a good player. I mean, Wijnaldum's just left. We have got midfielders. I mean, we've got Fabinho, Thiago's. I'd say getting on. He's 30, isn't he?
Liverpool could potentially walk out in a couple of years' time with the midfield three of fucking Curtis Jones, Jude Bellingham, and God knows who else. Like, he'll be on your right.
There'd probably be a defensive mid in there.
I was just about to say, for me, Harvey Elliott will end up on your right wing to replace Salah in the near future. Not in the near future.
I think Fabinho's like a Fernandinho player. I think he'll play up to his 35 because his intelligence and his footballing IQ is what gets him.
I really like Fernandinho
to be a DM,
as well.
But to be a DM, it's not the most physical role in the world. All you need for a DM is why DMs can go on for years. We saw it with Carrick, didn't we? He went for years. As long as you've got a good football brain and you understand where to put yourself, when to press, when not to press, and as long as you've got energetic midfielders next to you, i.e. Jude Bellingham and Curtis Jones, who can essentially do the running for you, then Fabinho, all he's got to do is sit in front of a back two and just be like, you ain't passing, good luck. I'll take that ball, thank you. Give that to one of the young'uns, and they can run it up the pitch.
Isn't he, though?
Exactly.
Like for Fabinho is the last stand before obviously the defense. He's got his role is crucial. Like I mean to have that six. Pep Linders calls him the lighthouse. I think that he starts to play obviously with the likes of Van Dijk, obviously Robbo. Obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold, but Fabinho is one there. He's the lighthouse. He can see, and it's like kind of like a goalkeeper, kind of like defenders. I'm a goalkeeper. I can when I play footy on a Saturday, I can see the whole pitch. I've got the possibility to pass it to nearly everyone. Fabinho is the same. If he gets a ball back, i.e. at a kickoff, say like
his passing is also his passing is ridiculously good.
It is ridiculously
good.
We've got great passes in our team. Van Dijk, even Robbo, Trent Alexander-Arnold. The switches, the switch between flanks sometimes just proper opens up the play, and that's what I love. I know again I'm going off topic a bit here, but like that's one thing I like about the Liverpool team, the way we're able to switch flanks.
Yeah, Velv, you've picked up Jude Bellingham more times than you care to imagine. You've already put him in a Liverpool shirt, even though that won't be the shirt he wears. But Velv, talk to me. You're not signing him this summer. No one is getting Jude Bellingham this summer. Dortmund won't let that shit happen. They're not losing Haaland. Dortmund are really smart, you see. They lose Sancho, then they're like, okay, cool. Then they'll lose Haaland. They'll be like, okay, cool. Then they'll lose Bennett. They're not gonna. They're not exactly the. It's why United fans should never have been worried about not getting Jadon Sancho this year, because there's no way Dortmund in their right mind are letting all three of them fuck off at the same time. You got no chance of that happening. So what's your stance? I mean, obviously you love Jude Bellingham.
No, that's a fair point. I mean, Haaland could well stay. Haaland could well stay. Oh,
Haaland is next out. He's got a release clause.
Who did he go to though? Bayern Munich, Chelsea,
Real Madrid,
City,
Real Madrid easily. Real Madrid.
Are they? They haven't got they haven't got the money to
They
go
have.
in for
They
them.
bid 180 million for Mbappe over the summer. They've got the money. This is Real Madrid. Never be afraid that Real Madrid don't have money, because we'll talk about that in a bit. But Velv, Jude Bellingham.
It's happening. Like, you might as well just announce the signing right now at Liverpool. Oh, Gini, why did you leave, man? Yeah, you could just probably announce the signing, like, to Liverpool. I mean, just do it. Like, just put the date. Just say the 1st of August. Here's our new signing, Jude Bellingham. Possibly
this summer?
No, next summer. Just like, just announce it right now. It's going to happen. Like,
Very confident. Do you not think there'll be any competition at all?
I think
Jude Bellingham.
Oh yeah,
it won't be a one-horse race. You're
not gonna get a free hit. You can sure as hell bet City will look at him. You can sure as hell bet United are gonna look at him. You can sure as hell bet Chelsea are gonna look at him. There's gonna be heavy competition.
But it'll be like the player himself that needs to choose. Like, he also needs to think about the game time he'll be getting, the best.
Apart from City, he'll get game time in almost any other midfield in the league.
If he probably get game time with City as well.
Ollie.
Jude Bellingham. Ollie will not drop Jude Bellingham. Not a chance, mate. Not a fucking chance.
I mean, would he be best going to Manchester United though? I mean,
it all depends.
Donny van de Beek, haven't you? You've seen
there's a reason. There's a reason Donny don't get in. Is because that wasn't an Ollie signing. Look at if United get like a Declan Rice or someone who can do a single pivot, right? A single pivot, or do that deep lying playmaker, right? Then I think he could go to United quite easily. I think that would be an all right move, regardless of if Ollie's there or not, or whoever they've got at that time. Maybe myself, because I am clearly I'm just tactically better than Ollie. So I think if United could be an option. Of course, I think he'd get game time in the Chelsea midfield. Although, to be fair, might not be the best place, because can they really give him that much game time? I don't really know. But of course, there's going to be other options. But no, Liverpool.
Please. He likes Liverpool. He's been praising Liverpool. He's been talking about Steven Gerrard as his idol.
Yeah, but Velv, you really. I don't know why you fall for this, but Luke Shaw's a Chelsea fan, but he plays for United. You've got Jadon Sancho, who's also a Chelsea fan, playing for United. You've got fucking Sterling, who's a United fan, who's played for fucking Liverpool and fucking City. Like, loyalty in football.
Went for them, but they probably know.
But loyalty in football just is not a thing anymore. The thing where I'll play for the club I love, like down in the lower leagues, if I was a footballer, of course I'd play for Plymouth Argyle. That would be my dream. But football nowadays, like, they'll go whoever pays them the most money. They're basically, and I've said this before, footballers are professional.
Do you think you look at the project though? I'm sure.
No.
You must.
Do you think?
Oh, yeah,
do you think Paul? Do you think
is a
Paul
massive
Pogba?
Motivator.
Do you think Do you think Paul Pogba looked at the process at Manchester United when he signed for United?
Probably not. I just know what I mean. Say if I was Jude Bellingham and I was looking, for example, say Barcelona. Right now, I had the choice of either going to Liverpool or Barcelona. Or no, like even City or Barcelona. Say, I mean, City. Like,
there's an element. Of course, there's an element. I'm not saying that there's no chance they look at that. But I've used this analogy before. Footballers are professional whores. They're professional. They're basically a whore. Right, you can buy this footballer as long as you put more money on them. Literally, they will go wherever the money, like that, unless they've got a loyalty. So for Rashford and Greenwood, they're loyal to United because they're United fans. Trent's loyal to Liverpool, so's Curtis Jones and all that because they love Liverpool. Foden is loyal to City because he's a City fan. Right, so those loyalties, they have an impact, but when you're Jude Bellingham and you're in the German league, and he was a Birmingham fan, I simply don't think there is that loyalty, because I think he can decide. And yeah, I do think that maybe the project's a big thing. I reckon it's probably a big thing for Haaland, looking at where is the project, where are you going?
That's why he went to Dortmund, wasn't it?
Because he wants, because
United,
the likes of Haaland and Mbappe look at the project and go, I want to be the most successful player in the world. I need to do that by winning team trophies. So there's an element of that. But I do think, he could go to United, and maybe they will sort themselves out by the time that Jude Bellingham becomes available, not free to talk to, but, you can put in that bid and it gets accepted by Dortmund, just like they did with Sancho. Don't know what situation United might be in. You never know. For all we know, Chelsea sacked Tuchel, or City sacked Pep, and they fuck off to Old Trafford. You don't know. That would be hysterically funny, and would be quite dangerous. But I do think that there is an element of that. But let's go to some comments before we move on. They're not going to get Mbappe and Haaland, though. They'll get both, mate. They'll get both.
I mean, it's well likely.
Mbappe, they'll get Mbappe because Mbappe is going to be free, right? So you're not paying for Mbappe. Real Madrid can walk up to Kylian Mbappe, and I cannot believe I'm about to say these words. They can walk up to Kylian Mbappe and offer him a pre-contract to sign him for free. Of course, his wages are going to be a bit, extortionate, because Kylian's agents go like, you're not paying for him. We want some more, add an extra 0 or whatever. Of course, you got to pay more wages, but Mbappe for free, and then Haaland for what, £84 million is his release clause. They'll get both, and that's going to be.
Mbappe got on his contract. I think does it run until not next summer, the summer after.
He's literally got 7-8 months on his contract. As I said, they can walk up to Kylian Mbappe in January and offer him a pre-contract to sign in the summer. He's a free agent in the summer, Paul. Kylian Mbappe is a free agent in the summer. I cannot believe that.
Jeez, is Jürgen watching? Can I send him like a link?
Genuinely. I'm sure. Your wage structure instantly says no to Mbappe.
No,
you're trying to get Mo Salah to sign a new contract. If you bring in Kylian Mbappe, Mo Salah's gonna be like, I want that now. That would be, you'd be bankrupt within weeks. Van Dijk would also want a little word as well. Marcelo Bale, Asensio, Modric, Hazard will all leave next summer for free. That is mad. The only manager that dropped Bellingham is Southgate. Why am I not surprised there? Son was a United fan, plays for Tottenham. Kane was an Arsenal fan that plays for Spurs. Eric Dyer was a United fan, plays for Liverpool. Sancho, a Chelsea fan, plays for United. KDB, a Liverpool fan, plays for City. And Wolf says a really good one. Velv and Paul, if you were professional footballers and United offer you, so let's say Manchester United sit there and say you can have 400k if you sign for us a week, plus whatever bonuses you could earn, do you accept it or not? So
do I have any other offers on the table, or is it just United offering me a professional?
So you got United on 500k. You've got Barcelona, but they'll offer you 250. And then you've got Juventus that will offer you 200. So you could go to Barcelona, or you could double your money and go to United.
To be fair, the most attractive, be it like forgetting that I'm a Liverpool fan for a sec, the most attractive offer there would be United, and I say that obviously the money, but the league that it's in. How big Manchester United is, the players of Manchester United.
Well, you would also get 400. You'd also get 400k a week. So I'm sure your eyes are looking at that, going, I quite like the idea of that.
Well, yeah, no, you've got it. You've got to shake off a bit of pride when you're a professional footballer. Like, I mean, if no one was offering me a contract apart from United, saying, "Do you want a professional career?" I bite their hand off. Yeah, of course. Do I want to play in goal? Do I want to be a Premier League goalkeeper? Yeah, I do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be. I'll always be a Liverpool fan. I'll always be a diehard Liverpool fan. I'm just like It'd be stupid not to.
Yeah, of course. No, I hear
yeah,
that. I was about to ask.
Do you know what, Mystic Werewolf? You're right. Loyalty does go out of the window when you're playing football, but obviously
Luckily, Velv
support the
is
football
here.
team is different.
I was about to ask Velv that exact question. Velv, those are 3 options on the table. What do you do?
Oh shit.
You go to United, don't you? Because they're about to give you 400K.
I'm going to United, but I'm taking the P's.
Because they're about to give you 400K a week to be a footballer.
I mean, if I get to go on the pitch, score 1 goals, get United relegated, then I'm all for it.
Well, no, because as a professional, you'd do your best, wouldn't you? Because at the end of the day, you as a professional, you want to win the trophies, you want to win stuff. What would be funny is if you two are playing for United and you got Liverpool in the Champions League final, and you've got to stop, you've got to stop Liverpool from winning the Champions League. Now that would be quality entertainment.
I'll just do a Carriers. I'll do a Carriers.
Yeah. I'll be on the great
it's sad. It's not sad, but it's obviously a hard one bringing it back to that. But again, you've got to shake off pride, haven't you?
Yeah,
really.
It's just football, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, like I could go, like, it's just you've got to look at it rationally when you're a footballer. Do you not
let's
go
say
to
let's say Exeter.
Do you not go to Premier? Yeah. Do you not go to a Premier League club that are playing in the Champions League and have got quality players?
I'll put it into context. Let's say Exeter City.
Or to go to Juventus in the Serie A for less in a lesser league just because of me ego.
Exactly. Let me put it into context. Let's say for some mad reason Exeter get a takeover and now they're the Manchester City of football, and they're offering me 400K to go and play for them in the Premier League. I'll take it.
Who's this?
Exeter City. So I'm a Niall fan, so obviously our main rival is Exeter City. Imagine if they took over. They're now Manchester City. I'd go there. Wouldn't be fucking happy. And I'm certainly not going to be like, fucking love you guys. You're amazing. I'll do my job.
Exactly.
Go home.
Exactly.
I'll do my job, go home, and then I'll look at my bank account and go, I'm going to buy a house.
Yeah, exactly. I'll always be a Liverpool fan. Like, deep down, I will always be a Liverpool fan. No matter what team. No,
not a Liverpool fan. I'll always be an Arnold fan.
Be an Argyle fan, won't you? But
to be fair, I've got a soft spot for Liverpool. I quite like you. You've got some players that I like at the moment, so you're not doing. The great thing with my club being in League One, so I can appreciate all of the players in the Premier League. I can appreciate Liverpool players. I can appreciate United players. I can appreciate Chelsea players. I've got favourites in all of them. I love Curtis Jones. I love Harvey Elliott. Really, really flew onto the scene. I love Greenwood. I like Mount. I like Van Dijk is insane. Salah is insane. Even though I will banter Salah, he's still an insane footballer. He's not quite to a level of Phil Jones, but with a bit of hard work and dedication, he'll get himself there. But yeah, Wolf says, check my bank account and buy a house. Exactly. Right. That is exactly what I'll do. I'll also be like, I might go buy a hooker tonight or God knows what. Like, I might have like a house party. That's the thing.
I'll be making it rain, man.
With all of that money you'd be earning from just playing for your rivals, you're set for life. You'd be downright stupid. And don't forget, a lot of these footballers don't come from wealthy
It's not
beginnings.
even about money as well. It's about being able to. If your dream is to be a professional footballer, you want to be a professional footballer. You know what I mean?
There's an element of that. I agree, but there's also an element of not many footballers come from privileged backgrounds. A lot of these come from, the council estate, the poorer countries, all of this, and
Dejan Lovren came from
and all
Bosnia,
of that, and
during the war,
and that's the thing.
In the 90s, obviously the Yugoslav
exactly,
war.
and a lot of these players.
Oh my wolf! What the?
If you get that money, it's not just about what you can do for yourself; it's about what you do for your family and all of this. And football is because there's so much money. It's very hard to stay loyal in football because you're like, I love this club, but at the end of the day, this club is setting me up for life. Like, it's so difficult. Wolf says, or go to Greece and make a scene like Harry Maguire. No, because I don't fancy being arrested in Greece. But moving on, we've done Jude Bellingham. That was fun. We'll leave the Trent one for right at the end. We've got a really interesting story, ironically, about Real Madrid. And obviously, it looks like they're planning on starting another Galactico shopping spree. Somehow, this right back, I think, is about to tell them to fuck off in a very Scouse accent. But before we do that, I want to talk about Brentford. Basically, speaking on Thursday, Klopp revealed that he expects to have Trent and Robbo in contention for a trip to West London, with both having returned to training. He said, Trent was not injured. Trent was a little bit ill. He's back in training yesterday and will be fine. I am specifically disappointed in Trent for not manning up and getting through his illness, because you cost me FPL points, you little bastard. But luckily for Trent, I still like him. Now, Bobby trained
Bruno Fernandes a while ago, and I thought he was going to do well. I think he got me like 2 points, and I was fuming. I wasn't fuming. Obviously, if it came down to it, I'd rather United get beat 3-0 than have like.
I had Antonio's style.
That's the thing for me, because I don't have a Premier League club. I am furious that they cost me points. Like, Bruno, go fuck yourself, and Greenwood, start scoring goals, buddy. You got to start scoring goals. I'm fully Greenwood FC. I love Greenwood, but
can we talk about what Bruno did yesterday?
No, we cannot. I want to talk about that with the United lot tomorrow. But Bobby trained with us already for 2 or 3 days, so he's back in contention. Let me say it like this: we used him as a little bit of a joker in training. But he'll be in normal training, and then we'll have to make a decision if we take him or not. Porto, 100% Brentford. We have to see. Milner had a similar thing to Trent, so he should be recovered. I saw him running around here. Nobody told me differently. I assume he'll be in training today. Naby, probably not. It's not a serious thing, but we have to wait until the pain settles. Pretty much, we'll see about that. Thiago, no chance. Neko made his first steps on the day before yesterday. Yesterday was pretty much was a recovery day. We'll be in training today if it's 100%. We will see how he can cope with it. So, a brief rundown through the injury list. So, Trent is available. Bobby might be available for this game, if not 100% available for Porto. Milner should be available. Had a little sniffle, but it's James Milner. Man is a beast. Naby Keita, definitely not. Thiago, not a chance in your Nelly, and I very much doubt to see Neko Williams. So, going through the very, very long list of people that could be in and out, Paul, what are your chances for Saturday against Brentford, knowing the injuries? And more importantly, how disappointed are you that Naby's picked up another injury?
Yeah, no, I'm disappointed about Naby. I thought the past few matches he was playing really, really well. I thought if he gets going here, he could be a pivotal point to the Liverpool team. But obviously, that's the problem. He plays well and then gets injured at the worst moments. I mean, the lad's got so much potential. I feel bad for him because he is such a good player on his game. Yeah. You can see it just by watching him. His composure on the ball, it's lovely. It's like it's quality. It just you don't see it every 3 or 4 games. Because that. Well, yeah. Obviously, I just mean his game in general. Yeah. That goal. Oh, I'd have that goal every week, please.
That goal was dirty and disgusting at the same time.
Yeah. Did you say Trent? Did you say Trent was?
Trent's fine. He wasn't injured. He was just a little bit ill. So, big baby Trent is back in contention. Hopefully, gets me some FPL points, because I had to rely on Max Allen's last week, and I wasn't impressed with what I saw.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It should be a win. I mean, it's back to a fairly normal. Bar maybe Bobby Firmino and Robert was back, isn't he?
Robbo came on against Norwich, didn't he?
Yeah, sorry, just mind blank. Yeah, but it's a relatively normal side again. I mean, it's a newly promoted club. I like Brentford. I think they're a good team.
They're very organised. We'll get into score predictions in a second, but they're expecting your midfield to be Hendo, Fabinho, Curtis Jones.
Yeah, probably agree with that. I mean, like I couldn't really think of who else could come in. Maybe.
Well,
the
we need
Ox,
to think
something
about
like that.
Also, we had the Porto game next. That Porto game's also a must-win as well.
Imagine if Velv had a Scouse accent, says Wolf. That would be fucking hilarious. No place for NHS hospital bed model at the weekend for us, unfortunately, if you get my sense of humour. Naby already on the hospital bench. Keita is in pain after that volley versus Crystal Palace,
he's
no
just
doubt.
such a good player, and I'm gutted.
I don't know. I'm not sure what emoji Wolf is using here, but I think shocked or in pain.
Yeah, like shocked. Yeah.
Yeah, Naby in pain. I'm pretending to be shocked about Keita being injured. Just saying. Does soccer have a Hall of Fame? We do have a Hall of Fame. We currently have a few inductees into it. We actually did our own Hall of Fame for this channel. I can't remember who went in it. I actually still need to make that graphic to put up for our Hall of Fame. But we do have a Hall of Fame, both the Premier League and we do. I can't remember if Stevie G got in. Obviously, there's so many good players that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. If they're not in the first one, they'll definitely be either in the second or third one.
Minamino got in the Hall of Fame, I remember.
Minamino stepped nowhere near that Hall of Fame, Velvish one.
Do you know what? He had a good game against Norwich, Minamino. I thought he played well. I hope to see him more, to be honest.
Yeah, we do have. We do.
Yeah, we have a Hall of Fame. Like,
I'm in that Hall of Fame for just being. I'm in that Hall of Fame for just being a sexy ass bastard. That's for sure. It's not soccer, Zach. It's soccer. No, it's actually football, but we'll allow it. Don't speak like that in front of Dom because we all know Dom is basically Nigel Farage in disguise, and Charles just
Nigel. Oh my god.
He is literally Dom is just Nigel Farage in disguise.
Where's Zach, by the way? I thought Zach was supposed to be on tonight.
No. Rack. I think he's working late, so Rack couldn't make it. Rack couldn't make it today. But before we go to Velv, Conor Bradley, you right back. Obviously, wouldn't necessarily have started if it weren't for Milner and Neko being injured against Norwich. But I thought he had a smashing game. I thought everyone talked about Kate Gordon. I'm not about to disrespect Kate Gordon, but I thought he was a bit quiet. I thought Conor Bradley on the other end was incredible.
I thought Kate Gordon had a good game. I thought he got
I think people get confused when I say a quiet game is not necessarily a bad game. I just didn't think he wasn't the one that stood out the most for me. The one that stood out the most for me was your right back in Conor Bradley. Yeah, obviously he gave away that penalty and it was a bit of a silly tackle there, but he did get his third goal because he pressed and his pressing was on point against Norwich.
I thought the pressing as a whole, to be honest, I thought as a team and a team that doesn't really that doesn't at all like play together at all, like bar the cup. I thought we played really well as a unit. We pressed as a unit. We obviously got up as a unit. We defended like a unit. It was good. It was a good game. I didn't expect to go into that game, Kelleher Rose, and win 3-0. I'm very impressed.
Kelleher decided to sweep up everything that came past your defence. He was like, "Oh, ball coming, I'll go get that." Normally using any part of his body, head, foot, shoulder, whatever. I'll deal with it. That penalty was absolutely horrific, though. I could have scored a better penalty than that, but
it wasn't the best penalty in the world. But I mean, he saved it, didn't he?
Who's Farage? Farage is a very angry man. There isn't an international one. Farage sticks it to the man. He don't take no corporate shit. Farage is just an absolute twat. But
he doesn't take no immigrants either, does he?
Yeah, he takes absolutely nothing, mate. If they're coming across the channel, he's like, send them back. It's like, Jesus Christ, Farage. At least look after the poor bastards. They fucking come. Look, we're not about to turn this politically, but my stance.
I was going to say, this is becoming like.
I was just about to say.
Sky News in the top right corner.
Not quite. I'm not turning this political, but all I will say is if an immigrant comes across the channel on a fucking dinghy, the one thing you could do is treat them with a little bit of dignity and respect and get them some fucking food and actually see if they're all right. Just as a common courtesy, as a human thing to do. I'm not saying put them up in a 5-star hotel and all of that. I'm not expecting that. What I am expecting is treat them with some sort of dignity and give them a Tesco meal deal.
Humane.
Yeah, or if you don't want to fork out for a Tesco meal deal, make it yourself. But will he take Canadians? I don't know. I don't know his stance on Canada. He might do. As long as you don't, I think with Farage, as long as you don't come across the channel on a dinghy, he's probably okay with you. That seems his pet hate.
Just give him a sweet chin music, then you're fine.
Yeah, right. What were we talking about? Knowledge. Right. Yeah. As I was saying.
Back to the.
I thought had a fairly decent game. I was impressed with him for 16 years old as well. And watching.
Is he only 16?
Yeah, he's 16.
But you know what's mad?
They're getting younger nowadays. We're gonna. I bet we're gonna have like a 14-year-old make a debut in the next few years. Guarantee it.
Don't know.
The youngest player I've known that made his professional debut.
But you say that, Paul, but kids didn't used to make their debut until they were 21 about 10, 15 years ago. Now they're making their debut at 16.
Yeah, Falcao made his debut when he was 13. Something like that. Back in his days or something.
I don't know if there's a law for in England what's the youngest you can play adult football, but I'm sure it's about. I'm sure it's about to get tested. I'm sure it's about to get tested by one team.
Yeah, I think the League Cup. I mean, Harvey Elliott, he made his first professional debut at 15 years, 200 odd months. That was the League Cup with Fulham. It's mad though, because I'm getting to the age now where there's youngsters starting for Liverpool who are near the same age as me.
How do you think I feel? There's youngsters.
No, exactly.
There's youngsters 10 years younger than me making their debut. I'm like, fuck yeah, now. I'm sat here on YouTube talking about football, and they're walking out onto a professional pitch about to play a football. So
am I.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel like I'm a lazy bastard. Just I hope about these men are making professional debuts.
Do you know what? We're contributing to the beautiful game in one way, aren't we? I still play. Hopefully, something maybe comes out of it with football. I think I'll always play football. I always play in goals to an extent, but as long as we're contributing to the game that we love.
Yeah, well, I do.
That's the way I look at it. If I can't play on the pitch, I'll contribute in another way. Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't good enough to play for United or any other team, so I'll contribute.
You still play a role. You still play a role in the.
Well, I'm still a qualified referee. I just refuse to ref at the moment until they sort out the safety for grassroots levels. Because last time I checked, I shouldn't be threatened on a football pitch for being a referee. But moving on swiftly. Chris says I expect Jones to start. Faraz says Justin Trudeau is a pussy. Lovely. Okay, back to football. So Liverpool sucks. Farage, Canada is a liberal. Hell yeah. He don't like. He actually wouldn't like you. You're too free or whatever. Alfonso Davies played at my local club at 15. Well said, Paul. Football fans are important and a major contributor. Or without us, you're fucked. Couldn't ask for a better team to play midweek. Couldn't trust Norwich to hit Cal's backside. I couldn't trust them at a barn door, or organise a piss up in a brewery. Now, Velv, after hearing all of that about Brentford, I don't want to score prediction just yet. How do you think the game will go? You've got a few returnees, obviously Trent coming back. You got Bobby who might be back. James Milner might be back. Naby definitely won't be there. Neither will Thiago, and I don't
Brentford
expect
or Porto we're talking about.
Brentford, they'll. To be fair, I think it'll be similar to Brentford to Porto anyway. I think Bobby and Trent and Milner. Bobby, Trent, and Milner will be back for Porto definitely, and I don't think Neco, Naby, or Thiago will be back for Porto either. So I think it'll be similar to Porto as well.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be like there shouldn't be too many hurdles. I mean, there's definitely going to be they're not going to fold over like a dead fly, are they? Not going to roll over and twitch. You know what I mean? They'll defo. I could see them putting one pass. It could be like a 3-1, maybe like a 3-1, especially away. You know what I mean? As I say, they're a good team. I like Brentford, to be honest. Good
Yeah,
team,
they're
good
organised.
manager.
They're very organised.
Organisation, yeah, definitely.
Val,
Well, I mean, like where we are and where they are, it should be. I don't
not
think
even
we're expecting any.
Yeah,
We're not
even
expecting
comparable.
anything else than a win. It's not
Well,
like
no,
we shouldn't even be thinking about
and
it.
nor should you.
It's a win.
Nor should you, because it's
100%.
the level of Brentford and Liverpool is not even comparable. But Velvish one, what about you? What's your thoughts going into this game?
I feel it'll be a good game. I feel like Brentford will be more expansive. I feel like they obviously want to have a go at a big club. So yeah, I feel like they will leave some gaps in behind, and we can.
I was about to say they beat Arsenal, but I don't refer to them as a big club.
They're not a big club. Like if you're having flipping Ben Shite at the back, then you're in a big club. Anyway, yeah, I feel
we were linked with Ben White for a while though, weren't we?
Yeah,
I wanted Ben White at one point. Thought he was a good player.
Yeah, he's just like he goes to a rival team. You just have to banter them in it, just like
yeah, true. Team over.
Yeah. I feel like Brentford don't usually score that many goals. Like I've noticed in previous games, more in the last game when they scored 2. Like the other games, they were getting draws because they weren't barely scoring chances. And I think we can use that to advantage, especially with Van Dijk and Matip, our best centre-back partnership at the club with Addison. I think we'll be fine. It's just we need to take our chances. And yeah, it's just like it'll be interesting to see the front three, really. Like, could we see Jota in this game, or we could see Laporte?
We should be in control most of the game.
Zach says, what did you take all our score predictions for now? It's basically, we're just going to do a league table. So basically, it was, I think on my feet. So normally we do a late show, which normally starts at 11:30 on a Tuesday. But Matt is obviously just gone to uni, so we couldn't really do that. So I was
tired.
Who, me?
You'd be tired in the morning, like 11:30.
I don't. I'm not awake, mate, because my job soon is going to be working nights. So I'm going to be, and this time is probably around midday for me, or about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, because I'll be going to bed at like about 7 in the morning.
Oh yeah, true.
So I'll be doing that.
I mean,
so
I'll that at 7 in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah, I definitely won't be. That I can assure you. I'll be going to sleep at that point. But what I like, I'm good at thinking on my feet, as Velvish one could probably tell you. And I was going to do it as a pre-recorded video, and then I thought, and big up to Callie, obviously on Twitch. I sort of saw this idea, and I thought, well, we could do it, and I do it on the FL show. Basically, we do predictions, but it's me and the panel. So what I thought is I'll do a live stream as the predictions, and then everyone puts their predictions. It's currently saved on a spreadsheet, and then at the end of that, the winner, providing if we're monetized by the end of the season, hopefully we will be, will most likely win like a mystery shout or something on that level. So do keep your eyes out and keep subscribing because the more subscribers we get, more fun and games we can do by the end of it. So the more important thing is make sure you subscribe, because as I say, the more subscribers, more fun and games we can do, and all of that. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button. But yes, you may win something if we have enough subscribers and are monetized by that point. Trust me, guys, watch hours, you lot are amazing at watch hours. We just need to work on the subscribers. So let's do that. But Velv, score prediction.
I'm gonna go for a actually I was okay. Chelsea better not lose, because for some reason we're just copying your scores or you're copying us for every game week. So I'm going for a 2-0 Liverpool with goals from Jota goal and Alisson overhead kick.
Yeah, no, I hear that. What about you, Paul?
Oh, that was fun. 3-1.
Nice. Yeah, I'll respond in that group chat in a minute. We've got one more thing to talk about, and then we are all free. We're all free, so this one is going to be a particularly interesting topic to talk about, because he's actually a Scouse, literally proper Scouse. He's proper Scouse. So I'll read the report that I saw. So Real Madrid want to sign Trent. They have said in this report, Real Madrid could be in the market for a new right back next summer to compete with Dani Carvajal, according to reports from Spain. Three options for the La Liga club reportedly have their radar on their radar is Trent. However, the 22-year-old man signed a new long-term contract in July that keeps him until 2025. As an academy graduate playing for his boyhood club, who recently signed a new long-term deal, it is extremely unlikely Los Blancos will be able to attempt the England international away from Anfield anytime soon, or in other such words, ever. The article claims that while prizing the 22-year-old away from Anfield will not be easy, acknowledging that Jurgen Klopp will go to war to keep his start at Anfield, and that's the key. Jurgen Klopp is willing to start war. Now, I don't know what type of war he's going to start, but I can imagine Jurgen Klopp, judging from his personality, isn't one you want to start a war with. However, they insist for president, and I hate this man, and I would love to do a boxing match with this old fella. They insist, however, Florentino Perez will stop at nothing to bring him to the Bernabeu. As such, the article concludes that nothing
will stop at nothing for like any player though.
I would love to.
Pretty sure he says that Mbappe and Haaland and stuff.
I don't want to punch
the Super League.
And that's the thing. I don't want to punch old people. I would love to smash him in the face. I don't care. I would love to smash him in the face. I'm not gonna deny it. If I could have a boxing match with anyone or a wrestling match or whatever, like I don't mind doing a Hell in the Cell, but none of this scripted bullshit. I will literally do it. I want to fight this man. I would love to fight this man on behalf of everyone who likes football, because this man is a virus in football. He is disgusting. He's an absolute cancer to the game.
He's a businessman at heart, isn't he?
He's a businessman that I would love to. He's a businessman that I would love to smack in the face. Also, Chris says 2-0 is his prediction. So-called overrated Tony started season well too.
He's not overrated at all. I don't know who ever said Ivan Toney was overrated. 31 goals in the championship.
Yeah,
I
his rise.
What, like 2 goals, man? Relax.
He did score the most goals ever in the championship, but we'll just grace over that fact quite quickly because we'll talk about Trent. Paul, you're Scouse, so we'll start with you on this one. This is not happening ever, is it?
No. I why would he want to? I mean, if only if Liverpool I don't know, got relegated something like that, just went woo like a roller coaster. I wouldn't see him. I would never see him leaving. I mean, if we carry on competing at this level, why would he want to go? I mean, it's the best league in the world. Never mind one of the best clubs in the world. No bias there ever. I mean, but there's not loads to say, to be honest. But he's at home here in Liverpool, isn't he? Yeah. The city adores him. He's the scouting in our team. Everyone adores him. I don't think there's a player. I don't think there's a person in Liverpool who doesn't like Trent Alexander-Arnold apart from Blue Nose Bob on Twitter. Do you know what I mean? I think he's the only person who doesn't like Trent Alexander-Arnold, but then again, he doesn't like anyone who wears red, does he? No, it doesn't matter.
The blue side.
He's probably watching this now, and he loving the attention.
The blue side of
speak about him.
The blue side of Everton, Velv. Of course they don't. Of course, they're not too keen on Trent Alexander-Arnold. I can only really imagine why.
Who did man have like Seamus Coleman, bro? Watched our right back, fam. Don't chat to my guy like that.
Velv.
Coleman. I think Coleman.
I'm gonna be honest. He is. I'm gonna be honest though. There's a reason I don't like Ollie Watkins, and I think he's a twat because he's from Exeter. I don't care. That man can literally, his celebration could be farting fireworks out of his arse cheeks. I frankly couldn't give a shit. I don't like him because he's from Exeter. That's normal, right?
Have you got this written down on a notepad?
No, I literally,
like fireworks coming out of my cheeks.
I'm genuinely, this is who I am. There's always a thing, right? Fat people are the funniest. I don't know why. We're just fucking hilarious. We are absolutely hilarious. Literally. But yeah, Ollie Watkins can do whatever. I will never like him because he came from our direct rivals. Literally. Like, I don't care what he does in football. The man could break every record in the world. He's an overrated pile of crap, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably what a lot of people still continue to believe. Although Raheem Sterling's like a quality player, there'll be loads of people at Anfield every week.
But isn't that what football fans?
I mean?
Isn't that what football fans?
Oh no! Oh yeah! Football fans is based on
tribal.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
your team. Insert team is the best team in the world. You've got the best players in the world. All these other teams can go and do one.
Yeah, I respect every other team unless you're a direct rival.
That is the basis of a football fan. Yeah. That's the basis of a hardcore football fan. As an aspiring journalist, I try and be as diplomatic as possible. Obviously, I'm going to have a slight bias to Liverpool, aren't I? But I try. But obviously, I'll have one in this Liverpool show.
I got loads of. For the article I written recently about combined 11 for Norwich, people were like, "Why did you put Kabak in your combined 11?" I was like, it's my personal.
That was a bit mad. But to be fair, why do you think if I can, I try and sneak Greenwood into Team of the Week every week? Because I love the lad. I think he's fucking brilliant. Why do you think when I had a chance to sneak in Brandon Williams on one of the Team of the Weeks, I did it because I quite like his shithousery. Like his shithousery, that's just perfect for me. Like when he decides that a player shouldn't be on the pitch anymore and needs to be thrown into the stands, I rate that. Because that is funny, and I like that shithousery, mainly because I saw it. I'll go with Paul Watton. 9 out of 10 times, if you got on the wrong side of him, don't stand in front of him on a free kick, because he can boot that ball really, really fucking hard, and you'll probably end up with a broken rib if you're trying to. You'd see defenders going, "Boss, I want to be in this. Will with Paul Watton taking it? Can I go over there?" No, take it like a man. I really, really don't want to, Ross. I really, really, I'll do most things, but I don't want to do this. They would normally jump out of the way of it, to be completely honest. Yeah, football is tribal, but Velv, Trent, Real Madrid. Now, I know Beckham went there, but Beckham was in a very different part of his career. Trent is only, 22, 23? He's still a young lad. So I don't really see Trent being too keen on going to Real Madrid just yet. How do you see this?
I mean, if they want Trent, give us like £1 billion, £1 billion plus Benzema, plus Modric, plus 5 of your Champions Leagues, plus plus Courtois, plus all of your squad. If you want Trent. Yeah, like Trent is untouchable. Like, why are these men trying to go after him, man? Like why?
Sell 50% of Real Madrid.
Just doing the contract, we get 50% of your earnings every single year.
51%. So with the major shareholders.
And
Shankly on the Real Madrid board have got more of a say than Florentino.
And if you win the La Liga.
You know what I mean? You're talking about You're talking about Brandon Williams' shithousery. No, that is proper Scouse shithousery. You know what I mean? I think Scousers are known for it. You know what I mean? We are.
I mean, the clause is like if you win,
that'd be next level.
If you win the La Liga and Champions League, they become our trophies, not yours. Like,
it
is our trophies.
We'd have what? About 23 Champions League titles.
Yeah, it would be insane. But no, I think judging from these comments, I don't really see Trent ever leaving Liverpool. Not yet, anyway. Zach says Trent is my favourite. Pengenio says I'm a pen merchant. Makes sense. Hendo, take him or leave him. What?
Hendo.
Hendo. what, the Stevie G replacement that's finally been accepted by the Scousers as the Stevie G replacement. Confused.
Leave him or take him. I wouldn't
We'll
leave
do
him
Real
in a
Madrid
million
better.
years.
We'll do Real Madrid better. We'll give you Neco Williams, a generational right back.
Do you want to know what? I like Neco Williams as well because he's got the similar shithousery of Brandon Williams. Similar shithousery. That boy, because I think
his last name's literally Williams as well.
Literally, I'm all for shithousery. Why do you think Rudiger is like one of my favorite centre backs of all time? Like Jesus Christ, like shithousery. If mate, arguably one of the greatest strikers ever to have graced the planet, better than Maradona. Just because, and Maradona, I quite like Maradona. I mean,
his fuel is pure Skittles vodka.
Imagine
the hand
that
of
backline.
If the hand of God wasn't like against fucking England, I would rate that. That would be incredible, but it did. So you're a nasty man.
Imagine that the backline of Real Madrid. Here's our squad.
God rest Maradona's soul.
Which after against.
Not all. That's an interesting. This is controversial, but Zachary says not a Henderson fan, really. Don't understand why you're so loved by the fan base.
Do you know what? Can I start on this? You don't have to like you don't have to be like he doesn't have to be like a Xavi or an Iniesta player. The captainal skills. I don't think the leadership on and off the pitch. I think off the pitch as well, and that's the likes why we still have the likes of Milner around. The leadership that he brings to the team, I think it's quite visible when he's off the pitch.
Could you imagine a young player
I couldn't imagine.
Imagine a young player trying to start. Well, just imagine a young player trying to start a fight with Hendo.
Exactly, yeah. Do you know what? I'm very surprised that Zachary just said that because. Like, do you watch, like, all due respect, do you watch the Liverpool game?
he loves Milner.
I mean, you should start watching documentaries. You should start watching proper analysing the Liverpool matches.
And
listen to what the players say off the pitch. Listen to what Jürgen says off the pitch.
Zach obviously
he's as important as Steven Gerrard was.
Yeah, no, I get all of that. I'm gonna say something which I think is probably a fair comment. Zach obviously lives in America now. I'm not saying he has this because he's American, but what I'm thinking is with Hendo, do fans outside of Liverpool really understand Hendo? Because with Gerrard, obviously, I think Scousers, they knew and understood Gerrard, and I think when you look at Hendo, you're like, yeah, that's pretty much a like-for-like replacement. Do you think that people outside of Liverpool might just look at Hendo and go, I don't, because there's not that connection with the player himself.
It depends how deeply involved you are in the club. I think. I think it doesn't have to be a scout thing. I mean, you can absolutely love Hendo wherever you're from in the world. I mean, obviously you've got to understand them, but if you followed and you are as involved as say me or Velv, yeah, sorry.
Velv's a secret United fan anyway, so
wait, no.
But yeah, if you are as involved as I am with Liverpool, and I am very involved, you'll totally understand Henderson.
Yeah,
and I think anyone who supports Liverpool with a passion will understand.
Well, we've had it down at Argyle. I was talking to one lad. It was I never rated Carl Fletcher, and I almost wanted to punch him in the face there and then because I was like, how could you go away from me? Don't talk to me anymore. But I do understand it. Look, we all have our favourites, don't we? We all have. Maybe Hendo isn't the type of player. Hendo, look, he's certainly not the most talented player, but I think it depends. It depends on what you're looking for in a player. If you're looking for a player to do lots of tricks,
to score weldies on the pitch every time he steps on the pitch.
If you're looking for someone who's going to do lots of rebonas and lots of skills and all that, and score a weldy every 2 seconds, then maybe
Gerrard
Hendo
wasn't
isn't
even like that, was he? Gerrard wasn't like rebonas and flicks and all that.
Yeah, Zachary says I understand he's the captain.
He was hard work. power, drive.
Zachary
That was
says,
Gerrard.
I understand he's the captain and all, but I would replace him without someone with talent in a heartbeat. I mean, it's certainly an interesting debate because obviously Hendo is, it's fair to say, coming towards the end. He's purely psychological. I'd take Gio or Jude over him. Oh. Yeah, to be fair,
but psychological. I understand what he's saying.
Yeah, to be fair, if you put into that context, you've got the choice of Hendo, Jude, or Reina. Then I think a question does start, because then I look at that Liverpool side. I'm like, well, who else? Realistically, I'm thinking who else can do it? Van Dijk could be captain. Fab could probably do it. I mean, man translates for most of the Brazilians there anyway, and you are half Brazilian.
Yeah,
with
off the pitch or behind the scenes, it probably have an effect that we can't even see. Henderson, Henderson, like, the game is psychological. Probably as much as it's physical, it's psychological. Yeah. It can have an effect on performances. It can have an effect on others. And that's why, I think that's why we love Henderson so much. I do
think when you put it into that context though of Reina and Jude, I do think you the conversation then does open up, and it's probably a conversation the Liverpool fans wouldn't be too keen on doing at this precise moment. But I do hear that.
No, I'll have the conversation. I don't want to shy away from anything on here. I don't want to be like.
No, I know that. I was just thinking.
Jude, that's a valid point.
Yeah.
But probably right now, I mean,
it's tough.
It may have an effect if Henderson leaves the club. You know what I mean? There may well be a shift. Obviously, you'll have to go at some point. But naturally, if there's a ready replacement there to take his role,
and that's the thing,
and take it on with the same effort, determination, drive,
with Jurgen,
the leadership that Henderson did.
Exactly,
then,
and for
I
me,
consider it, but
with Jurgen,
Henderson is too pivotal of.
No, I do hear that, but for me, with Jurgen, he's not an idiot. There's always a time when someone's got to leave. Like, you can't play forever. I do think that I think Trent is probably next likely to be that guy. We've seen Jurgen give the captaincy a couple of times. The reason I say no to Van Dijk is because I think with Jurgen, he is going to look, because I think Jurgen is very much probably on his last legs with Liverpool in terms of he's not going to pop his clogs anytime soon, but he's going to leave Liverpool soon. Pep Linders probably takes a job from I think his contract.
How soon are we talking?
What, end of his contract, 2024. He's pretty much already said that he's hinted quite a lot that he wants a break from football, and understandably so, because of how Jurgen is.
Relatively soon.
Yeah, so with how Jurgen is, with how Jurgen is as a man, you can imagine the passion, the drive, the energy that it must take for someone like him to be the man that he is. It takes an awful lot out. But with the way that Pep Linders
might do a Ferguson.
Can't see it, but with the way Pep Linders has been talking, I do see Pep Linders as potentially a replacement for Jurgen to keep that continuity, because Pep Linders is, and I think the key bit is Pep Linders has been working on a lot of the young talent. Ironically, a lot of that young talent are probably going to be making their debuts or being in that first team under Pep Linders if he were to be manager. So I thought that was an interesting bit, and that maybe that's just me reading a bit too much into it or thinking along them lines, but I do see that as a potential ready-made replacement.
Yeah, do you know what I do? If you can bring it back to the boot room, Paisley, Fagan, Dalglish, Souness, but
you want that transition, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah, I think Pep Linders has got. He's been coughed right hand man for how many years now? He'll probably understand the side as much as Jurgen.
Exactly.
But the only thing is with Pep Linders is the personality. Can he have the same? Can he have the same?
I think on the club? I think he can.
Or could he have the same effect on the club that maybe Gerrard would?
I don't think. I don't think he needs
a more passionate
to.
individual.
I don't think you need to.
He doesn't have to. I mean, as long as he gets the same effect out of the players.
Well, and I think he would, because I think what's important for the players is as long as you've got someone. So not every manager is going to be passionate. Right? I would be passionate, and I'll probably tell.
Well, yeah, Shankly and Paisley.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
personality.
And I think if you can get that passion from someone else, so let's say Trent is the captain and he's just putting a 2-foot attack on Bruno because he just said that Scousers are shit, then that passion is there, or something like that. So I ultimately Pep could be it, but I also think Liverpool would have looked at United and what happened after losing Fergie and going, we want nothing like that to happen to Liverpool. So I do see continuity being important. Last few comments before we wrap up. Origi and Minamino can do a job, and it shows that they can step up when needed. Absolutely. Liverpool fan base love the old players, so if FSG were forced to sign the 30-year-olds, then they... No, Liverpool fans wanted Hendo because he's so important, but they also loathe the qualities. But you are right, FSG... they're not too keen on older players. I don't really know
what he's talking about. That
so basically, I don't know, but Liverpool fans do want the 30-year-olds to get new contracts. FSG, on the other hand, would probably quite like it if they could sell them on and go get a younger player. That is the difference, but that's the things that FSG are having to work with, because what they want isn't necessarily what the Liverpool fan base want. And the Liverpool fan base, if they're not given what they want, 9 out of 10 times they're going to speak up. Also, you got to think Jurgen also has a big say in that.
I mean, like, the Liverpool fan base don't like, they love to sign the 30-year-olds, and then we bitched about it.
No, I don't know what he's on.
I mean, I'm all for youth, definitely, but I mean, there's still there's still a lot of quality in the likes of Salah, Mane, Firmino, even like
Mane.
There's going to be a change. There's going to be a gradual transition.
Mane, I would like to have that discussion about, because I think that transition with Mane needs to happen soon, because unfortunately, and I like Mane, he's done a great job, but he's slowly coming towards the end very quickly, and you need to plug. Yeah, I do. I think Salah will carry on because Salah is Salah. Mane, I do feel that Mane is slowly becoming. Not shite, but I do think his levels are dropping, and they're dropping to a very worrying sort of level per se. And his finishing is some of the worst finishing I've ever seen. It takes him about 20 chances to put the ball in the back of the net, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that maybe Mane needs to work on it.
I'd have to take it up on that, to be honest, Niall. I don't know whether I entirely agree. Like, all due respect, like, I don't know whether I entirely agree with that.
I'll happily debate that one day. How good is
definitely. That's all due respect. I'd have to have a look myself and like properly.
Yeah. For Pep Linders though, Pep, from what I've heard, is a decent person. Understands the system. The fan base is a tricky spot with their attachment to a trophy generation in getting the transition to let go to bring in young talented players. That's an interesting one. I think he's looking at the likes of Hendo, the likes of Van Dijk, the likes of Salah. Obviously, it's tough. It is tough. It's finding that balance, isn't it? It's finding that balance between an older player that isn't quite at that level anymore, but being kept and potentially stunting the progress of a young player. I do understand that. I don't know. Liverpool is a tricky fan base, mainly because Liverpool are just Liverpool.
Come on, Mane's not finished.
You know what? We don't have to. We don't. I think women greater than Mane don't. That's not even that.
No,
no, genuinely, it is. That's like Mane isn't finished. I don't think we even need to debate that.
Well, the definition of being finished is Eden Hazard.
I was just about to say it wasn't women over Mane. It was Werner over Mane.
I do apologise, but I don't think that's really.
No. I don't think I'd use the words finish for Mane. Look, I do think there's a conversation needed about a potential replacement coming in for Mane, but I certainly wouldn't use the words finish. That can only be.
I think maybe like you should probably start watching more Liverpool games. All due respect, like, but I mean, like Werner over Mane. Mane's finished.
I do like Werner, but
like
I do like
Liverpool
Werner.
fan base only liking 30-year-olds. I think like
There is
I-
an element. There is an element of truth in that. You want Hendo, you got Van
I
Dijk.
mean,
You got
yeah, but a lot of
Fabinho,
it isn't truth.
Thiago.
A lot of it's just assumption.
Well, I know, but look, that's the beauty of football. We're all entitled to our own opinion.
Oh, yeah, no, of course. I
so
just
yeah.
mean like there's just.
I've watched every game this year. Look, Zachary, I think the way football is, and I'm very different to other people, because I allow everyone to have their own say, unless you think Greenwood is shit, and then please leave the door. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. But no, for me, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Everyone's got a different opinion. It's why we all love football. If we all like the same thing and did the same thing, football would be shite. But we've been going for
We've been going on for an hour and 40 minutes, so we need to wrap